Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the BuzzStream Podcast. My name is Vince Nero. I'm your host, and today I'm joined by Thomas Fish. He's the president of Blowout Cards. How you doing, Thomas?
I'm doing well.
So this is really kind of cool merging of PR and my love for the Phillies. Very selfishly, I asked Thomas to come on to talk about this. We're going to be talking about a really cool reactive PR campaign that Thomas and the team at Blowout Cards ran. I'll get into all of that. I just want to remind people before I do to like, subscribe. The more that you can share this stuff with your colleagues and interact with this stuff, the more I can have great guests on like Thomas. So, Thomas, I guess it probably is important for me to kind of lay out the scene for people here. And I'll do that briefly before kind of getting into what Blowout Cards is and everything. So we're recording this September 16th, September 5th. There is we're talking Major League Baseball here. Thomas, I don't know if you realize we have some UK listeners as well, so got to make sure I frame this stuff. Phillies, Marlins baseball game. Somebody hits a home run into the crowd. Two fans kind of scuffle over it. And one of the fans kind of gets into the other person's face. And ultimately, the fan that ended up with the ball gives the ball back to the person. I'm not going to get too far into that, but ultimately, this person was kind of vilified. And it's known as kind of the Phillies Karen incident. What kind of came out of this was both teams tried to rectify the situation, make sure everybody was happy, gave the person who lost the ball, who gave away the ball, they gave their kid a signed bat from the person that hit the home run. They also gave them a bag of swag. But the damage was done for this person that kind of took the ball. The clip circulated all throughout the news. And this is kind of where Blowout Cards came in. So, Thomas, do you want to just explain how you guys got into the news there?
Yeah, so we saw, obviously, the viral video that was out of the woman approaching the father and son who wound up with the ball after they grabbed it off the floor right in front of the woman. And we saw it was going a little bit viral. So we have a very passionate collector base. And we figured this would be a decent story. So I said, wow, man, that lady really went off. And I don't get it. You know, you're at a baseball game. It's for kids. I mean, I see all the time where a fan gets a ball, home run ball, foul ball, whatever, and, throws it to a little kid. Great, happy story. Kids are at their ball game. And the father was just taken aback from this lady approaching him and yelling at him and getting in his face. And the father actually took the ball back from his son and just gave it to the lady to just scurry her away. Like, okay, here's the ball. Go away. Please leave us alone. And it went viral. And yeah, Phillies Karen went viral. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. This kid really should have that ball. So I thought to myself, I said, what can we do to bring a little bit of attention to it, make a little light of it, make it fun? And we put a little bounty out, said, hey, $5,000. Get the kid the ball back, and all she's got to do is write "I'm sorry" on it, which we probably thought that she wasn't going to do that, but she should have apologized and got the ball back. But it blew up so much that it's probably never going to happen. And it went. Our little tweet and blog post went viral, and it definitely brought a lot of attention to our brand.
Yeah, and so I guess to back up, just to give people some context here, do you want to just tell them a little bit about Blowout Cards too?
Sure. Blowout Cards is a online retailer. We also have a brick and mortar store, but we're an online retailer of sports cards, trading cards, Pokemon, and collectibles. Our primary focus is on trading cards. And we have a very active forum with a very large collector base that interact online on our forum and talk about various topics in the hobby and sports in general.
So is that kind of where you first heard about this? What made you kind of decide to actually jump on it? Was it that there's chatter on the forums?
No, actually, it's crazy. I was at lunch with my wife one Saturday, and every so often, I'm eating, I pick up the phone, you just scroll through the Twitter feed, see what's going on, and I saw a lot of people were commenting on this, and it's like, wow, there's a lot of activity on this. It's kind of crazy. And I figure I'd just throw a tweet out there also and make a little fun of it and says, hey, we'll give $5,000 if the lady gives the ball back and writes "I'm sorry" on it and autographs it. And it took a life of its own. It was really really crazy. I never expected to get that much off of it, but yeah, it was definitely Very exciting to see all the news people that picked up
Y-
our little post.
Yeah, I mean it's fantastic. So it sounds like you don't have a PR agency; you just kind of do it
No, no,
in-house.
we do it all in house. Twitter is our primary method to engage with people. We have a pretty decent Twitter following, but that's what we use, Twitter. We've used Twitter for since its inception, and back in the day when we couldn't handle the website traffic, we would actually post our sales on Twitter.
Oh,
And
funny.
people, yeah, on Black Friday one year is really when we realized the power of Twitter. We would put up flash sales on Twitter, and it was very
Right.
positive for our business. So we've used Twitter for many, many years now.
So it also sounds like you didn't actually pitch this out to journalists. It was just you threw
Yep,
it out on Twitter and you
yep.
had a good following.
And it took a life of its own. Yeah, for sure. It was fun. I mean, we talked about it afterwards. I talked to my partner about it afterwards. And the thing that I think really made it go where it had to go, it wasn't just a bounty. If we run bounties in the past, a special card, an autograph, something, I think having her inscribe it, I'm sorry, is really what got the media around it. And it was interesting because I saw that this podcast wanted to focus on the newsjacking, which is interesting because Marcus Lemonis put out he gave the kids family, I think, an RV and tickets to the World Series, but my newsjack, so to speak, resonated with more people. They were jumping on because I think they really like the angle of the I'm sorry part, and I think that's what really got it to where I think if I just would have put a bounty on it, it wouldn't have got to where it's got. I think the part that got everybody was the I'm sorry. Like, listen, apologize, give the ball to the kid, it's over. And the crazy part is I haven't seen, and I don't know, I haven't checked too, but no one's identified her yet. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard kind of conflicting stories. Like one of them said she got fired from her job, but it's kind of unclear on where she
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
Maybe she's kind of going and she's the new Bartman, I feel
yes,
like, for this
for
era.
sure. But you would think somebody would have identified her, but crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So it sounds like you said you've done kind of these bounty things before, but nothing with, I think to your point, like the thing that's stood out to me and like how when I talk about this stuff to other people is like having that emotional component to it, right? Like,
Right.
yeah, you can give like the RV and bring them to the World Series, and there's some emotion connection to that, but like the thing that you're talking about there is like it feeds into like the outrage and the frustration that you see. Like if for people who haven't seen it, I'm gonna definitely post some clips, but like watch the clips, put yourself in the shoes of the father who is kind of getting yelled at by this lady. So yeah, I think that seems to be the hook there. But yeah, tell me about the bounty stuff that you've done before.
Oh, we've done bounties on specific players if they have a big card that's coming out of a new release that could trade. I mean, you see some of these cards like that last year, that Paul Skeens cards that Dick Sporting's Good bought for $1 million, give or take. These cards are becoming big time alternative investments, and people are interested in the stories on what some of these cards could potentially sell for.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I'd like to give some tips for people. Like if you're putting yourself in the shoes of other people, other businesses, I mean, it seems like this was very opportunistic thing where it was like you saw this news and it seemed like a kind of gut reaction. You're like, I should just kind of do this.
Right.
Um, what tips you have for other small businesses that might want to do something like this? Is it something you can plan for? Is it something you can?
I don't think it's anything that you could plan for, Like you said, it just came from my gut. It was a great opportunity to jump on a story with my collector base. And like I said, I think I got real lucky with the I'm sorry part. And like you said, with the emotion, it resonated, and a lot of people picked it up. But I would just go with your gut and just, be honest with yourself, be honest with your brand and your customers. And hopefully you can catch the wave like we did.
Yeah, that's fantastic. The last thing I actually wanted to ask too was tracking the impact on something like this. I know that you said, you had it blew up on the news, right? It kind of went viral. You got a lot of press out of it. Did you have press contacting you at all?
No, no, I really didn't have too much press contacting me, but I did have a lot of peers. A lot of customers were saying, "Hey, man, that was a great idea. Good to see it. Hey, that's a good idea." And then just reading some of the comments, it was interesting because we got a few people that says, "Hey, why would you want to reward bad behavior also, right? Like
Right.
give the lady $5,000." But at the end of the day, it's been great. And the most fun part is when it did start to become viral, I found myself like every hour checking Google and doing a search.
Yeah.
Who else picked it up? It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. And did you see any kind of uptick in traffic or anything?
Yeah, we
like that to
definitely
the
saw
site?
some uptick in traffic was good, and just it gets me excited because obviously we had an uptick in traffic and an uptick of brand awareness. So I'm thinking, you know, can this ever happen again? Who knows? I mean, I always said to myself, I want to have something go viral. This is the closest thing that I've ever had go viral, but looking forward to the next thing that could really get my brand out there. You know, it was I don't want to say it was free advertising, but it was as close to free as you can get. And I didn't have to
Yeah,
spend the, and
yeah, well, fantastic.
I didn't have to spend the 5,000 either.
Yeah, right. Hey, I think it would have been a good investment even if you did.
For sure,
Got another
for sure.
story out of it.
Absolutely.
Thomas, thank you so much. I really appreciate this. It's kind of a quick hit podcast for our listeners. I'm going to kind of slide it right in there because I think it is super timely, and I wanted to kind of showcase your success, and hopefully people can learn from this. People can check out Blowout Cards at just blowoutcards.com.
Yep.
If you're into trading cards, that sort of thing, definitely check it out. And Thomas is on LinkedIn as well. So if you have any questions about this, you have any questions for Thomas, you can find him there, but you can also comment on the video, relay them to me, and I'll make sure they get over to Thomas. So thank you again, Thomas.
For sure. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. And thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks. Bye-bye.